After the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cowboys could not feel better about the path that they're now on. Back to a winning record going into the bye week, and they're 3-0 in the division. This week on Cowboys Insider, we're taking a look at how this roster got it done even when they were limping into the game against the Eagles, and what they can do in the second half of the season.
Determination, the intensity, that we can beat anybody.
We keep going, that's what we need to do.
Not only match what we've done in the past, make football bigger tin life.
Believe in yourself! Believe in your team!
They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Here we go.
For the second straight week, the Dallas Cowboys enter Sunday's game with injuries to big-time starters. The only difference is this week, there were even more names on that list.
I really don't anticipate any of them practicing full. If they do anything, it'll be limited.
It's the end of the year for veteran defensive lineman Tyrone Crawford. He officially made his way to the injured reserve after many efforts to play through pain in both of his hips. He was rarely on the stat sheet for the season. He played only 42 snaps in the past 2 games, and his absence will be felt throughout the locker room.
His role as a leader, as a player, as a pass rusher, just overall as a friend in the locker room and on the field is definitely going to be missed. We're going to miss his presence out there, all the things he does for the D-line, playing every position, and just being a leader, just that experience of being here, playing here 7 years for Marinelli, so definitely going to miss him.
Receivers Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb, defensive backs Byron Jones and Anthony Brown, and offensive tackles Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith all missed out on practices this week. Oh, and another difference going into this game, this team they're actually playing from Philly isn't winless. They actually claimed the win early on Monday morning.
We're going down to Dallas, and our guys are going to be ready to play. And we're going to win that football game. And when we do, we're in first place in the NFC East. We control our own destiny. We're right where we need to be. Has it been perfect or beautiful or all of that? No. But all we got to do is try to be 1-0 this week, beat the Dallas Cowboys. We're in first place.
I don't think any coach is saying they're going to go down to lose the game. So, they should be confident in themselves. We're confident in ourselves, and we understand what it is when we play them. So, it's just going to be a good game.
I try not to listen to all that. I try to just focus on our game plan and things like that. But at the same time, we know they don't like us, and so we're gonna go out there, and there'll be a lot of energy in the stadium. So I'm excited to get out there on Sunday.
Later in the week, Peterson softened his stance on the comments, saying, "Hey, the Cowboys are reeling like we are, but they beat us twice last year. We're going up against a lot on Sunday night."
If you need a coach or anybody else to fire you up, I don't think you really should be playing. That's what Dak says, really every week. We shouldn't have anybody else that should motivate us to be fired up or fire us up. You should already have that. So for me, I'm not looking for anybody to fire me up.
We're just getting started here on Cowboys Insider. Still to come from the locker room.
Doug Peterson already called us out, so y'all know what it is. Thank y'all.
Receiver Michael Gallup will have his eye on a big return this week, but the other eye watching Amari Cooper. All that and more next.
Cowboys Insider is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass. This segment is brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
The 41 blitz picked up by Elliott, and the throw goes left and bounces off the hands of Gallup.
I'm trying to figure that one out too, what was missing for me in that game. I took my eye off the ball, at that last second, trying to make something, make a move or, trying to get upfield a little bit more. The first thing I need to do is catch it, tuck it, and then you can make a run after catch. For me, it was just, trying to set the example. I didn't do it that well, but I knew I needed to set an example, for the other players that we had that don't, obviously get to play as much as I do. So I just tried to, fill that leadership role and then do what I was supposed to do.
Michael Gallup had an opportunity to step up as a leader when fellow receiver Amari Cooper left the Jets game last week. Gallup will be the first to tell you he dropped the ball.
In college, if you had a mistake, it was like, it was pretty minor. A lot of people didn't really see it, especially for me going to a smaller school. A lot of people didn't see it, but, playing for the Cowboys now, you drop one pass, the whole world's gonna hear it. So, just having a quick mindset, you drop it, you see it, you learn from it, and then you go get the next pass.
Once Gallup saw Cooper getting comfortable on the sideline, he knew he had to step up. But he's adamant that it didn't add any stress to his game.
If we don't have, Amari out there, I don't feel like, it really changes for me, because even if Amari is out there, I'm still getting, plays as well coming to my way. Being the #1 receiver, I think it can go both ways. Because in the very first game we played, I took off in that game. So folks kind of said that maybe I might be the #1. But, we don't really see it like that. Everybody knows Amari, he's the top dog around here, and we need him. But I would definitely say that we all practice the same, we all do the exact same things, and we go out there and execute on the field.
And Gallup says it's no secret he's had his eye on Cooper since he arrived in 2018. Cooper is an example in every form of the word.
I would definitely say Amari has helped me a lot, just seeing different coverages and, knowing when to tempo things and when not to, because he has a quick change burst thing that he does where, like, he'll come off real slow and then he'll just hit it. And, my game was never really like that. It was always just, speed the whole time.
Gallup had back-to-back 100-yard games to start the season before missing 2 weeks with a left meniscus injury. His first game back, another 100-yard game. Cooper isn't the only one who's played a role in Gallup's development. Wide receivers coach Sanjay Lau has contributed his fair share as well.
He's more of a teacher than he is a coach for me. Kind of like my coach at Colorado State that I had. Never really is going to sit there and yell at you. It's more he wants you to figure out why you messed it up. He's not going to sit there and be like, you did it wrong, just go watch film, blah, blah, blah. He wants to teach you. So he's a great teacher for me, and I appreciate him for it. In a way, I kind of see Sanjay as myself, just calm, cool, collected, but just very smart in what you're doing.
Gallup's confidence in year 2 also mean he's now comfortable approaching quarterback Dak Prescott, something he says he avoided doing last year.
I was just a little bit nervous to go ask the #1 QB for the Dallas Cowboys, how many steps I need to take on this route or something like that. It's huge for me, to know that we have that connection and then also the respect for each other for this game.
That newfound confidence goes hand in hand with maturity, something the 23-year-old says is essential in the National Football League.
If you don't mature, then you're not figuring it out. You got to grow up really fast playing in this league. It really helps when you're on the field, not doing dumb things to get penalties or anything like that. Just growing up.
Maturity has always come natural to Gallup. He's someone who's pretty even-keeled on and off the field. And that easygoing mentality is something he says he learned from his mother, Jenny.
The only thing my mom really told me to do when I was coming up, she was just like, I just want you to be a good person. When you're a grown man, when you have a family, just be a good person, always try to do the right thing. And then it really goes in correlation to what I do on the field. Doing what I'm supposed to do, the way I present myself and talk to the coaches around here, it shows maturity and it shows that I'm growing up. It always goes back to Mama though. She always just said, just have a smile on your face and then go out there and do what you're supposed to do.
He just likes to lead by example and find the positives, a quality he says he gained from his mom. Gallup receives a text from his mom after every game about his beautiful catches. And even when he doesn't have a perfect game, she finds the good in the bad.
After a loss, if I have dropped some passes or something, Normally I'll at least catch one and still say, that was a great catch, Mike. That was a beautiful catch. A couple of catches that you had. So, you know, always something just to put a smile on my face when it was a tough go. This last game, it was actually her birthday the next day, so I sent her something. I sent her a good, healthy text and then a little picture of us that we took back in Colorado the day I got drafted. So just letting her know that she's my whole world.
Gallup says he plans to do a better job of leading by example this week and doing it all with a smile on his face, just the way his mom taught him. And he hears the hype around the Philly game. He just doesn't need any of it to get him ready.
The last couple of weeks have been a little bit tough, but I would really say, you know, everybody's just locked in. You know, it's a big week, you know, rivalry game for us. So, I mean, everybody's just, they got their head on straight for this week.
Coming up next on Cowboys Insider, Jordan Lewis and the gang know they need to do more this week if they want a win against the Eagles. We go inside the locker room to see how this team plans to bounce back from their third straight loss when we return.
This segment was brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage. This segment is brought to you by DraftKings. Play for the biggest prizes in fantasy sports on DraftKings. Use promo code Cowboys.
Can't ask for anything better than this. Obviously, got Philly coming in division rival. Winner holds first place of division early in the season, and especially where we are with our record 3-3, still to have this chance to be in this position for a game like this early. We're excited for it.
Does it feel like Dallas week to you?
Yeah.
What makes it different for you?
You ain't got to really say much. There's going to be a lot of things being said. I just try to quiet down and get ready to play.
There's no denying this game will attract national attention.
That's what's at stake. It's first place, you know, and then it's another chance for us to go 1-0. We got to make sure we come together. You know, I know things ain't happened the way we wanted to last game, and this is a game that can propel us and take us forward.
Winner claims the division lead, and the loser loses all momentum. And as much as Jason Garrett's team is focused on themselves, even they can't deny that this one is huge.
That's always a big game. I think it's been Sunday night past couple years. So it's always a big game, division rival. We know them very well. They know us very well. It's always a tough fight. So, I mean, we know they're going to come out there and give it all they got. They're in the same situation as us, so, I mean, it's going to be a dogfight.
The Eagles currently rank 29th in the NFL in pass defense, allowing 280 passing yards a game. Well, the Cowboys are coming into this one ranked 3rd in the league, averaging 305 yards in the air. But they trust their run game and refuse to abandon it, knowing they've left more on the table.
We're just not playing as well as we probably should and could. You know, there's a lot of variables, and so every game's kind of got its different aspects. I think we've moved the ball decent, and a few of those drives we just haven't finished with any points.
As for Rod Marinelli's defense, they want more takeaways. They need more takeaways. They're tied for 26th in the league with only 2 interceptions on the season.
We just have to do our job. Everyone, like I said, everyone, because we're all in it together. We just have to do our job a little bit better, and that's what it comes down to. So if we do our job better and longer, then we'll be satisfied.
Defense always works in tandem with the offense, and this offense relies on its balance. The Cowboys believe in the power they have behind the $90 million man, Ezekiel Elliott.
You know, he's been a pretty consistent runner for us. You know, he makes a lot of dirty yards. He makes a lot of explosive runs. We call 12 yards or more. And he's made some big runs for us throughout his career. Typically those, everybody has something to do with that. You mentioned blocking down the field. That's always a point of emphasis to turn that 12-yard run into that 40-yard run. So we'll keep emphasizing that. And that's an important part of running the football, being able to make some of those big plays.
Coming up next.
People always say, I don't care how many games you win, as long as you beat the Cowboys, you know, I'm happy, so.
The division is on the line at AT&T Stadium. Will the Cowboys find enough within them to win and reclaim the division lead? We take you down to the sideline at AT&T Stadium during prime time, right after this.
This segment was brought to you by DraftKings. Play for the biggest prizes in fantasy sports on DraftKings. Use promo code Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
There's a popular theory in the land that the Cowboys have reached the end of the earth, and one more misstep and they will fall off it into the infernal, eternal abyss, never again to be seen. Interestingly, there's a similar theory at play in Philadelphia.
Yeah, one of these teams today is going to be 4-3. One's going to be 3-4 by the end of the night.
Who are you, man? Who are you? Who are you? That's what type of game is this? Let's go! Let's go!
No explanations, no excuses. We got one job today. We coming home in first, baby. Let's go!
And Wentz back and looks for the check down and has it to the tight end. Fumble! Cowboys have the ball! And they will pitch it right to Austin. He's got a first down, 15, cuts it to 10, running to the 5, to the pylon, touchdown, Tyrone Austin.
He's gonna hit him with the, yeah, you come back on it.
Hey, great talk, man. Good. Keep talking it out. Keep over-communicating.
He's gonna want to extend these plays, right? Yep. He's gonna want to extend these plays. Make him earn it. Hey, he's gonna want to extend the play. Keep compressing the pocket. Doing a hell of a job. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Keep compressing the pocket.
With Sanders second down and 4, Wentz now back to throw. Ball is out again! Snap is back, well protected, deep ball to the middle of the post to Ertz, caught it over the top, touchdown Eagles.
Hey, that was the last one for the season. We done beating ourselves. You hear me? You hear me? We done beating ourselves. Calm down.
Play fake, boot to the right.
Oh, he's open, he's open.
And it's an easy lob to Jarwin in the end zone.
Hey, Al, man, keep partying the Brazil, dog.
Ertz back, sets and looks and stands forever, and over the middle of the field is intercepted. On third down tonight, and they're going to go boot to the right. He's got nobody. He's going to keep it to the 5. He's got a first down, diving to the pylon. Touchdown! Touchdown for Dak Prescott.
I know you did.
I'm not going to lie, I was pissed you ain't throw it to me.
He was on your ass. You
know he was.
Top extending.
Matter of fact,
Well, I just knew he was going to keep pulling it.
I'm just going to tell you, when you watch the film, I'm going to be like,
greedy, man. Oh, cute Wolverine.
Jason Garrett's emotional speech to his team following the game is right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys Insider was brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Had a great look in your eye. You had a great spirit all week long. You could tell. Great bounce in your step. Okay, we knew that was a good football team. They'd keep coming back. You guys didn't let them up. Hell of a job. A hell of a job. Dallas Cowboys on three. Make it loud. 1, 2, 3. Dallas Cowboys!
The challenge was to play in and play out for 60 minutes in all three phases. And, we knew, certainly emphasized trying to get off to a good start, but even when we did, we knew they'd come back. That's the kind of team they are. That's what the NFL is all about. So you had to keep playing, you had to keep battling, you had to keep executing. Again, I thought we did that really well in all three phases of our team.
They always say the bye week comes at the perfect time. The players will head out for some rest and relaxation, but not before we catch up with them and take some inventory on where they've been and where they plan to go in the second half of the season. We'll be back next week for another episode of Cowboys Insider as the Cowboys are coming off a bye week, getting ready for NFC East foe, the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. I'm Lindsay Draper. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Cowboys Insider.